Hello everyone, today we're going to learn the daily Tanya for Yom Beis B'Chodesh Nissan, Tafshin Pei Daled. And to recap, just some context, we learned yesterday, the day before, we were talking about different kinds of avodah. We were talking specifically about the avodah of Atzilus, which is the complete dedication and devotion to Hashem, up to the point of not even feeling one's own existence. And we were talking about how this is the avodah, this is the service given by the great tzaddikim. And what we said yesterday was that even a normal person like you and I don't have to be great tzaddikim to experience this or to offer this avodah, this service. We can do so in certain, let's say, auspicious occasions, like whenever God decides this is an auspicious occasion, obviously, but one that you can sort of predict is in Shemon Esrei, in the standing prayer, where, according to the Kabbalistic reading of the davening, we are standing in Olam Atzilus, and there we can do the avodah out of a complete devotion, and especially in the bowing portions, where we completely giving ourselves over to Hashem. And so that is something that we can achieve if we're very lucky. And so let's continue. And so we say that the reward of a mitzvah is the mitzvah itself. Perush, what that means is that from the reward for it allows us to understand the level on which that mitzvah exists, right? We're talking about the mitzvah existing on Bria, Yitzir, or Atzilus. So we're saying that from the schar, from the way that the mitzvah is repaid, we can see on which level it was done. Okay, so this is already the second parish, the second explanation of schar mitzvah. The famous Mordechai Shapiro song. פירוש שמסחרה נדע מהותה מדרגתה ואין לנו עסק בנסתרות, and we don't deal in the mysteries, שהם צדיקים הגדולים, which are the great tzaddikim, שהם בבחינת מרכבה, which are like the chariot, which are like the divine chariot, right? Which is to say a pure extension of Hashem's will, as they're completely devoted to Hashem. רק הנגלות לנו, only that which is revealed is for us. שאחריהם כל אדם ימשוך, which after which every person can go on. Okay, so what are the things that every person can do? To know the essence and the level of the service of Hashem, right, which come from the worship that is in love and awe, which is revealed in one's heart when one speculates upon and ruminates upon the glory of Hashem. The place of this avodah, the place of this service, is in the 10 spheres of Bria. And worship in the natural love and awe, which is in everyone's heart, is in the 10 spheres of Yetzirah, ביוד ספירות יצירה. אבל עבודה בלי התעוררות דחילו ורחימו, but service, in other words, mitzvahs done without any sort of arousing of love and awe, אפילו במוחו, even in his mind, בבחינת גילוי, in other words, that the love and awe are not revealed in his mind at all, דהיינו, which is to say, לעורר האהבה הטבעית המסותרת בלב, right, which is to say that we're talking about somebody who did not even arouse the love, the natural love and awe, which is locked in our hearts, to bring it out of hiding, to bring it out of concealment, right, and to bring this and to be revealed in one's mind. Al kol panim. In other words, he did not even do this. This love and this awe stay locked in the heart. They stay concealed within the heart כמו שהייתה קודם העבודה, just as it was before the service. הרי עבודה זו, this service, this avoda, נשארת למטה בעולם הפירוד. This avoda stays down here in the world of separation, הנקרא חיצוניות העולמות, which is called the external part of the world. So we use externality because I think it's a good translation. I don't think it is. The external part of the worlds, okay, which is to say the world of separation. Ve'ein bakoach, and it doesn't have any kayach, it doesn't have any ability, la'alot v'leikalel, to rise and to become enveloped bichudo, in Hashem's unity, barach, shen esel sfirot hakadoshot, which are the 10 holy spheres. So what are we talking about here? It's a little bit hard to explain, but in simple terms, we could say that each world that we were speaking about, Bria, Yitzira, and Atzilus, they each represent a kind of intent, a kind of mindset, a place, a conceptual, sort of spiritual place from which the act of worship or the act of service, the mitzvah, was performed. Right? So if it was performed from a natural place, then it expresses one's natural love for Hashem. And one's natural love for Hashem, the sort of place of natural love, is Yetzirah. Whereas the place of contemplation, the place of the mind, the place of free choice, is already, we're talking about the world of Bria. Okay? And so a mitzvah, when it is done from a place of love that was born of contemplation and of speculation, is expressing a much higher form of love. And the highest form of love is the complete devotion that we spoke about yesterday and the day before. And so the mitzvah, you could say, it points to that. The act points to those worlds, to those mindsets, let's say. Okay, but an action that was done without intent at all points at nothing, basically. That's not completely true, but it doesn't point at any higher intent. It's not expressing a movement of the soul, which is in a higher place. Okay, and let's continue the last sentence. And as it says in the Zohar, that without love and awe, lo parcha le'ela, the prayer or the mitzvah cannot fly up. V'lo yachla lesalka, and it cannot rise u'lemekam kadam Hashem, and to stand before Hashem. So that's something interesting to think about. Just sort of, what are our actions pointing at? Are our actions pointing at something deeper within us, or are we just doing them in an empty way? And certainly, what kind of love are our mitzvahs pointing towards? So let's sort of keep that in mind, and see you tomorrow.